Welcome back to another episode at Never Done Homestead.
Hi guys, I'm sitting in my fruit orchard working on extending or adding an addition to my chicken coop, and I'll show you guys what I'm working on. Maybe we can see it. It's on the other side, working on that addition. I'm sitting in the fruit orchard because Winter, who is right there, Winter will not leave my side if he's either not with me or with Judah, who's my daughter's dog, my 3-year-old pit bull. Since Daisy and Dolly have been gone, he's been extremely clingy. So I've got to find another Nigerian dwarf pretty soon, because every time I leave his sight, he wails. And it could be for 30-45 minutes. He'll stop for 10 and start back up screaming again. So I've got to find 2 more nannies. I'm probably gonna contact the lady I got him from, and if she can't refer me somewhere else, maybe on the Middle Georgia Homesteading group, I can find 2 more nannies. Even a wether, just someone to keep him company until I get what I'm really wanting and looking for. I posted an exciting video of Dolly in labor, and we were all excited about Dolly being in labor. I basically bought her for $95, which was a good price, and the fact that she was pregnant, getting a 2-for-1. Well, Dolly ended up having to be put down. About the 6-hour mark in labor, we saw nothing. Something should have passed by then. I called my neighbor who has a farm across the street, and she came over about the 8-hour mark, and she tried to go in and deliver the kid. We were able to get his legs out. We could feel teeth, so the head was there, but her pelvic bone would not move at all, and the head must have just been way too large to pass. About the 10-hour mark, I gave it my all. My neighbor had left. She had done all she could do. I want to say she was here maybe 2 or 3 hours trying to deliver. And I gave it my all, and I yanked because at this point it's like, okay, I've got to get this kid out of this goat, because they could both die. At this point, we already knew that if there were 2 kids, the one that we were pulling out had passed. It was gone. And then at that 13-hour mark, they basically, I had many people that had called me trying to walk me through some techniques. My neighbor, of course, called someone, and she tried all the techniques that she knew of. We called the vets in the area, and there aren't any goat vets in my immediate area, but one that was probably, 35, 40 minutes away, if that much. They weren't available. And the next vet that was available was literally 2 hours away in the next state. We did find a vet that might have been an hour and 45 minutes away. They were closing. They said that they would wait for me, but they wanted a $600 deposit over the phone. And my neighbor, I was reaching for my wallet because I was trying to do whatever to save Dolly. But my neighbor basically told me to think practically. And that was not practical for a small homestead. And most people that are homesteading don't have $800 to spend on a goat, especially on one that's suffering, dying, and their kid is suffering and dying. So I had to think practical, and we decided to go ahead and put her down after the 13-hour mark. It was the most traumatic experience homesteading that I've been through. I thought that, a dog attack or a hawk attack against one of my chickens was something. I had a dog that died. Lady, she died, had developed tumors, and the tumors came back, and she ended up passing. And I thought those were traumatic experiences, but us trying to deliver this kid and having to then, after 13 hours of midwifing, having to then put her down, that was the most traumatic experience I have been through yet on the homestead. And if it were not for my dear neighbor, I don't know what I would have done. I would have been out of my mind, I guess, because I just don't know if it had not been for her, I would not have even tried to even deliver. But I literally put my hand up that girl's pelvis and tried to deliver that baby. And I know I'm a rough and tough, tomboyish type of woman, and it wasn't budging. I couldn't get the head out. So with that being said, with Dolly being gone, we noticed the week before Dolly went into labor that Daisy was also pregnant. And we are assuming, we have no facts, but we are assuming that these two goats that I got, seemingly from the same farm, were probably accidentally bred to a larger goat. Nigerian dwarfs cannot be bred to larger goats. That's just not the way their bodies are made. And I do understand it because we had English bulldogs, and they most of the time require a cesarean to deliver. So with the Nigerian dwarfs, they need to be bred to Nigerian dwarfs or a small breed goat. So we said goodbye to Daisy. We took her to auction. She was sold as a pregnant nanny, and hopefully the farm that bought her will have more experience with me than me. I had a veterinarian on the phone that was willing to walk me through a cesarean on a live goat, and I just wasn't ready for that. Not at all. So hopefully she'll go to someone who's been through that and knows how to do all of that, or is closer to a vet or what have you. There's no way that I was gonna cut her open like that. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm already not that great at viewing blood and gory stuff, so I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that. You know, some people can and don't have a problem. I have a problem, so, you know, I'd rather pay the $800, $600. But I thought that there was a huge lesson learned about homesteading, especially with animals, with livestock. I was in a Facebook group a couple of weeks ago, and a lady was having an issue with one of her goats, and I can't remember exactly what the issue was, but I was scrolling through the comments, and one of the commenters said, "I am so glad that I joined this group before buying any goats, because some of you are so irresponsible. If you can't afford a vet for your animals, you don't deserve them." And many people in the comments section replied to that and basically said, you know, there aren't veterinarians that there aren't too many veterinarians that will even see about goats or treat goats. So we have to learn on our own how to give them their vaccinations. We have to learn on our own how to diagnose things like blue mouth. We have to learn on our own how to treat them for things as cuts, bruises, ticks, you know, things of that nature. Those are things that as goat owners, we can't take them to the vet like we can our cats and our dogs, because there aren't a lot of vets available. I can't always just pack up and leave. Someone has to be here to stay behind for whatever the reason. So with that being said, I was glad that I read that comment, and then I was glad that I went through what I went through. I learned a lot about kid delivery, and I know that when it gets time for me to have to do it again, I'll be experienced in a little bit of it, and prayerfully I'll be successful the next time. But I was just not willing to go through what Dolly went through with Daisy. I would rather find a nanny that can be raised with Winter, and I know that nanny is being bred to a Nigerian dwarf. That was a very traumatic experience that I don't wish on anyone, except for the fact to learn from it. So at any rate, I'm going to have to find them soon, because he won't leave my side. When I leave, he screams and hollers. I have tried to adopt something with him that one of my sisters in Kenya, she has a goat farm, and she literally ties them to a tree and allows them to eat the brush under the tree for her farming. And I tried that the other day. I'm going to probably insert that in this video of him tied to a tree. He cried for the first probably 30 minutes, and then finally he started eating. So he's not just a pet, he's also a worker. And that's why I have him here. This will be a working homestead. It's not just for fun and games. Yeah. And those are my pullets. And soon I will be adding to this chicken coop so that we can add the other 24 chickies over here. We'll have 16 in the first coop, and then the other 16 in this second one when it's finished. That's what we'll do. Alright, you guys. That's what happened with Dolly and Daisy. I can say this. I didn't lose out on any money. Daisy went for more than double